Good morning, everyone. This is, of course, not a lecture session or dealing with any subject or topic. It's one of my personal sessions on this occasion of an auspicious day, uh, Teachers' Day. I am not aware how successful I have been as a teacher or what impact has it caused to the students who are there in my life. But I would like to certainly thank the teachers today who have caused an impact in my life. And for me, I have not been that kind of a religious person who thanks God's. We have different festivals when we thank Ganpati, when we thank, Lourdes Durga, or when we thank so on and so forth. Okay, so in some way or the other, every year we ensure that we thank all these gods. And I have not been that kind of a person, but I've seen people getting engaged in thanking all of these gods every year dedicatedly without fail. But what we fail to kind of appreciate is the live contribution of people. Gods, we don't see them, of course it's your belief system, but there are some people who make contributions to our life. And I think an attempt should be made to dedicatedly respect them every day. And if I see, there has been attempts that were made recently during the lockdown for appreciating doctors and nurses, whatever way it was done. Okay, I think this is more than our prayers that we make to, you know abstract phenomenons. These are live people who are making contributions to our life, and I suppose we should at least get some time off to acknowledge their investment in us, to acknowledge their investment of time, to acknowledge their investment of energy in us. Uh, being a teacher for quite some years now, all I feel is that a lot goes a lot until unless you are passionate about this, you will not be able to be a teacher at all. Okay, it's a very passionate profession, if you call it, or I would say it, until unless I take teaching as one of my passionate hobbies, I will not be able to, be a successful teacher. That's my opinion. People take it as a profession, I take it as a hobby, I take it as a thing that I'm passionate about, and I don't know what are been my successes. But for me, until unless you are passionate about teaching, you actually cannot survive in this. Okay, you might be a successful person who can earn, or you might run a center or a school, but then you have to be really passionate about this. And today, on this auspicious day, I would like to thank, unfortunately, the people who I'm trying to thank today are not there anymore. I have lost them, but somehow their contributions still remain with me, and they will stay with me for my entire life. So I would like to thank them wherever they are with all my heart and soul, because their contribution to my life has been quite unparalleled. Some of the teachers, I would like to thank all the teachers, but some of the teachers whom I cannot forget in my life, Mrs. Cofton, she was basically a teacher in my fifth standard, and a very unique personality. I mean, everything that she used to teach us basically English, and every story, every poem that she used to teach us. I remember she had a story behind it. She used to be so full of stories. Her stock of stories was just never ending, and the most wonderful part about her was that stories were not repeated. She had so many stories about each and every thing. Her See, in those days we didn't have uh, these modern methods of teaching, of a computer or maybe a projector. So those days chalk and board was the entire world, and I still believe that chalk and board should be the entire, because in chalk and board a teacher gets involved. Okay, uh, a teacher gets involved right from the writing perspective to explaining perspective. The involvement is much more. Okay, presentations and all you can copy from here and there, but then when you go to chalk and board, your presentation is becoming unique. And she was so good in explaining things. She was so, at times I used to count, okay, for today we have one story, two story, three stories, four stories. We used to count it, maybe just on a funny aspect, but I kind of now feel what was the, see, when she was leaving home, or maybe when she was at home, she must be thinking about these things. You just cannot make up stories, right? So there's a lot of preparation that goes behind in the minds. So it means that she is connected to us even when she is not there in the school. So she was in the 5th standard, and for everything that used to be taught by us to her in English, she used to have a story. And she's never, I know she was never running out of stock of stories. So it was so illustrative. Okay, we used to connect with those things so easily, with some phrases, with some idioms. We used to get connected. I still remember those things because for everything she had a story. So imagine the preparation. Today we call preparation by preparing a PPT, or maybe copying things from here and there. But this is actual preparation. When you actually remember a story, you connect to it, and you ensure that it correlates with what you are trying to portray. Okay. So thanks again, Mrs. Coppenum. Again, she is not there, but very illustrative. Okay. Mr. De Cruz, he was one of the, I would never forget him. He used to teach us maths, and in my school, and I suppose I was there he taught us maths in the 9th standard, 10th standard. More than his maths, it was his command in English. Super command in English. I mean, the way he used to talk, the way he used to make fun, and it's just unparalleled. Some people do not correlate to him because they think that he was a very strict teacher, but very honest. I have never seen him discussing anything apart from his studies. Every day he used to regularly take classes. Every day he was present, and his contribution is just unparalleled. His comments were so funny that it used to make this entire. I used to wait for his periods basically. I and a couple of my friends used to sincerely wait for his periods. When is he going to start the class? So the method in which he used to deliver, the comments that he used to make, most of the people never got connected with him. But I feel that more than maths, he kind of upgraded our English. A very sincere approach towards teaching, and a very simple person, and a very direct person as well. So thanks, Mr. De Cruz, wherever you are. Okay. Mrs. Gandhi, I was in the 12th standard when 11th and 12th standard she taught us English. Again, one of the most dedicated teachers that I have ever seen. I remember she had a problem with her eyes, and most of the times when at that point of time pollution levels were not that high, but the smoke and all this industrial pollution and all that used to severely impact her. But I have never seen her being absent from her regular batches. She was very regular. I have seen her when she is basically trying to read a book. She was when she is actually correlating to a play or maybe a poem. So actually I saw tears rolling down her eyes because she was not able to cope up with it. Okay, her eyes were giving her a lot of problem, and the pollution levels, as they increased, they keep on disturbing her eyes all the more. But in spite of tears rolling down her eyes, these were not tears because she was crying. These were basically a medical condition, and still she continued teaching with all her efforts and passion. Okay, one of the greatest teachers that I have ever seen in English, one of the person whom I can directly correlate to when it comes to mastery over the subject. She had so much of vision, and is just unparalleled. Her contribution is just unparalleled. The way she used to teach, the way she used to carry herself, the way she used to interact, the way she used to make the entire class interactive, it's just unparalleled. Okay, sticking to the subject in spite of having a medical challenge, still her contribution is just unparalleled. I again thank you, Mrs. Gandhi. I am not sure whether this message reaches you, but again thank you so much. Okay, Uh, Mr. Ghosh, he was not my school teacher. They were all my school teachers basically. And Mr. Ghosh, he was not my school teacher. He was basically a clerk in one of the offices that we have in our native place, and a very a very unique person, very simple person. I have never seen him even purchasing a two-wheeler for himself. He used to, be on his bicycle. He used to go to his I used to go to his house. Basically, he was not a teacher, not a professional teacher, but an enormous passion for the subject mathematics. An enormous passion. I mean, mathematics was just in his blood, and I am just running short of words to express the passion that he had for mathematics. He didn't have a chalk and a board or system of teaching us. There was just this table in his house, and just a handful of students used to come, 4 or 5 students, and these students were just sitting. He was just explaining, on our notebooks itself. So he had not used blackboard and all that stuff to explain, but a very the passion that he had for mathematics is just unparalleled. So it used to be like this, okay? You have not seen this. So he used to sit, and obviously, working 10 hours or 8 hours in the office drains you out. And in the evening time, we used to go at around 7 or 8 o'clock. I have never been to classes, but this was a private home tuition for mathematics. I had gone to him, and he used to, he used to feel sleepy. Let's accept this, but strange. Okay, this is something strange that I have seen him. He used to be in his chair, almost falling asleep. At times, I have heard him snoring. He has given us, the problems to do. He has explained the concept, and somehow, let's say I have almost done 10 problems, but on the 11th one, I am stuck. So I'm like, sir, you will just wake up. What happened? What happened? So this problem I'm not able to solve. So then, oh, this one, this is so easy, and he used to do it like, as easy as ABC. So I'm just trying to understand, a person who is already gone into deep slumber, he will take some time before he gathers himself. But this person, he didn't have, as if mathematics was just in his blood. Okay, the moment he used to wake up, he is all up. If you wake up in the morning, or let's say if I wake up in the morning and somebody gives me a problem in mathematics, I will first, gather myself up. I will first recollect things and then maybe attempt it. But this guy, the moment he opened his eyes, oh, this is so, as if he was doing it in his brains when he was sleeping. So strange. I mean, this is just the passion for the subject. He used to be on a bicycle, and my native place was Allahabad. It is one of the places in north wherein we have extreme weather conditions. So during summer season, we have this extreme hot weather. There is a wind called Loo which blows, and people get sunstrokes. What we mean by sunstrokes is that these are heat strokes because of which people die. And something of this sort happened with him as well. He was kind of on his bicycle, and all of a sudden he collapsed, and he went into coma. At that point of time, I was not studying under him. I had moved on, but somehow I got the news and I was there, and I had gone to visit him. So he was in a condition of coma for 4 days in the hospital. He had a son. So we were 3 students of his, along with his son. We planned that we will be with him in different time slots. So we will be close to him in different time slots. So we told his son to be there in the daytime, and I told him that I will be during the night time. So from 9 o'clock to approximately 6 o'clock in the morning, I was there with him in the hospital for the 4 days. So the reason why I'm trying to correlate this is, so during these 4 days, when I was sitting next to him, he was in a state of coma. I don't know what happened. Approximately around 11 o'clock, I was just sitting in a chair besides him, and he was trying to murmur something. I thought that he is gaining back his senses in full. So I tried to listen to him with all my attention. And what I heard, to my surprise, were just mathematical formulas. Okay, just to let you know that after 4 days he expired, he died, and we lost him. So during these 4 days, I don't know what the others heard during their time slots, but I heard numerous formulas of mathematics, sine theta, cos theta, integration, differentiation. I know I was trying to, because his voice was hardly, very feeble voice that was coming out. And I was making a note of all those things in a diary. The diary is still there with me. And I was just astonished that the person who is about to meet his end, they say that a person who is about to meet his end somehow knows about it. Okay, generally a person who is about to meet his end will talk about his family, will talk about his what he is leaving for his family, or will talk about what he wants his family members to do. But this guy, staying in this condition, he has already collapsed, he is about to lose his life, and all he is doing is, to my surprise, just narrating formulas of mathematics. I still have this diary and I want to show you. This is the diary in which all these formulas are still there. And on this day, I make sure that I open this diary and connect with him. Okay, so I have no idea where they are right now, but look at the passion for teaching, look at the passion for the subject. I mean, even in the deathbed, the person is thinking about mathematical formulas instead of thinking about his family, or maybe what kind of things he is leaving for his family, or what does he want his son to do. Okay, so this is called passion, and that's what teaching is all about. For me, I would say that this diary is worth more than a Quran or a Bible or maybe a Gita. That's how I look at it, because that's what the life contribution of a person is. I suppose the people around us who are making some life contributions to our life relentlessly and passionately, they need to be acknowledged first. If we are celebrating festivals, I am not against festivals. If we are kind of appreciating the gods, singing praises for them, I think we should take time out to thank these people as well, who have made significant contributions passionately, relentlessly, and without any without any hidden agenda of their own. Okay, so a lot goes behind. In this lockdown, for example, things have changed drastically. The methods of teaching that were there earlier are no longer there. Teachers have to upgrade themselves. Teachers have to go on an online medium and teach. It's not easy. It's not easy to upgrade yourself all of a sudden. Students, it can be easy because you are more connected to technology these days, but your teachers who were there from an earlier part of their lives, they are not used to apps, they are not used to different technological streams that we have, and it is difficult to upgrade at this age. So please, my request is, please, at least the greatest thing that you can do for a teacher is just pay attention in his class, in his or her class, because whatever he or she is delivering, it's something that there is whatever he or she is delivering, there's a lot of passion behind it, there's a lot of preparation. Maybe the methods of delivery are not the same for all teachers, but there is definitely a preparation that goes around. Okay, there's definitely something sorry, there's definitely a huge preparation that goes around. So please, it's just not about saying happy Teachers Day to a teacher. It's about your involvement with the teacher, with the teaching process. So I pay my regards to all these teachers who have somehow influenced my life, enhanced my knowledge, and wherever they are, if I don't believe in rebirths and reincarnations, wherever they are, if I happen to meet them somewhere, I will consider myself to be most honored and most privileged. So thank you again, all the teachers who have made their significant contribution to my life. This was just a handful of teachers whom I have highlighted. There are many others. There are still that I am in a learning process. There are many others who are teaching me now, and your contribution has just been unparalleled. I don't know gods, but if there exists a God, in a human form, it's you. Thank you again.